We're Group G, and for our topic presentation, we are doing Chapter 5, which is Goals and Planning. In this chapter, we're going in depth on different types of goals, how to set goals, type of plans, and developing plans.
In this chapter, we're going to be discussing the two types of goals, one being financial goals. These are related to the financial performance of the organization. For example, the franchise wants to increase sales by 5%. The other type of goal is a strategic goal, and this is related to the other areas of an organization's performance. For example, a cell phone wants to create more features in their new phone than their competitors. We also have two different types of goals, stated goals and real goals. Stated goals are openly made statements by an organization that are made to satisfy the expectations of the stakeholders or the public. Real goals are goals an organization actually pursues, shown by what members are actually doing. More about stated goals, they're found in organization's charter, annual report, public relations announcements, or in public statements made by managers, often conflicting and influenced by stakeholders and what they believe the organization should do. Such goals can be too broad and better represent public relations of an organization rather than the actual goals they look to accomplish.
So our setting goals, you're going to start by reviewing the organization's mission and employees' key job tasks, evaluate available resources, determine the goals individually or with input from others, make sure goals are well written and communicated to all who need to know, build in feedback mechanisms to assess goal progress, and link rewards to goal attainment. One of the ways to set goals is the traditional goal setting method. So these are when your goals are set by the top managers, very broad and strategic, so then it can be passed down throughout the organization and become sub-goals. A means end chain is when this works well and the goals are clearly defined enough so all the different levels of goals are integrated and work well together. But it can create a problem when these goals are not specific enough and then different managers interpret them differently and lead to different goals in different sections, which this picture kind of illustrates, where it starts with we need to improve the company's performance, but as it goes down the pyramid, it ends up being don't worry about quality, just work fast, which is a goal that the organization doesn't really want. Another type of goal setting is the management by objectives. So a way to set them is this is when everyone agrees upon the goals and uses the goals to evaluate employee performance. So a manager could sit down individually with different members of the team and discuss different goals to set and then review the progress periodically. So it helps to focus on the employees working towards the goals and it makes them more attainable because they helped create them. So the four elements are goal specificity, so that they're specific and they know what they're going for. Participative decision making, so everybody's part of the decision that is made. An explicit time period, so they know when the goals need to be achieved by, and then performance feedback, so they know how well they did in achieving said goals. And then some research we found on goals in general is this article from Forbes, which gave 5 reasons why setting goals improves focus. So goals trigger behavior, so you having a goal kind of motivates you, it gives you an end result to go towards. Goals guide your focus. They make your focus more specific because you have a specific goal to go towards. Goals sustain momentum, so once you start making progress towards an end result, it's going to make you want to keep making progress. Goals align your focus. It puts your focus in accordance with behavior as you get feedback, and then it allows for overall improvement. And then goal setting promotes self-mastery. It builds character, and you feel successful, and you found out like you did something meaningful when you achieve your goals. And then the importance of goals in general. So for managers, managers are often the people who are setting goals and responsible for enforcing goals, so they need to know the best methods to set them, communicate them, and follow up on them. And then for me, I'm a team leader at Tivana, so I'm part of the management team, and part of that is setting our goals for the day, as well as continuing to keep track of the company's goals and making sure our store is doing that for the company.
So I did strategic planning, and that's basically used to develop an organization's strategies. And a strategy are plans for how the organization will do what it's in business to do. So how it will compete successfully and how it will attract its customers in order to achieve goals. And there are 6 steps in strategic planning. that is identifying goals / a mission, external analysis, internal analysis, formulating strategies and implementing strategies, and evaluating the results. So a real life example is I work at a golf course, and every day our boss sets us tasks like mowing the lawns, reseeding the fields, and really without these plans for the day, there would really be no structure, and the maintenance of the golf course just wouldn't work out, resulting in there being no golf course. So yeah.
Alright, so what are the three types of plans? There's strategic plans, which outline the goals of the entire organization, take a long-term view, and a much wider view versus a detailed one. It requires involvement from all departments and requires everyone to be on the same page, and they're typically developed by the higher-ups in an organization. There's tactical plans, which typically are concerned with lower levels of management and short-term goals with certain divisions. And there's operational plans, which is typically used by managerial level to accomplish the managerial tasks and goals. They can either be single-use plans or ongoing plans, and single-use plans are plans that are used once and won't be repeated, versus ongoing can be set once and used for years. And this is just a little breakdown of what all three of those are. Then it says strategic plans involves analyzing competitive opportunities and threats as well as strengths. Tactical plans create a blueprint for a larger strategic plan. They're usually short-term and carried out by middle-level managers. There's operational plans, which covers the entire organization's goals and objectives and puts into practice some ways and actions, steps to achieve the strategic plans.
What are the differences between stated goals and real goals? Stated goals are statements made by an organization that are directed for the public and stakeholders. These goals can be exaggerated and do not reflect the real goals. Real goals are the organization's actual set of objectives. What is the downside to traditional goal setting? Since traditional goal setting is used by setting broad strategic goals, it is difficult to translate these broad goals into specific goals for each department and team. Out of the three types of plans, which type outlines the goals of the organization and takes a much wider view? And the answer to that is strategic plans.